He was tired. Every day felt like a battle. The looks, the whispers, the assumptions. Being black in America was like carrying a weight on his shoulders, a weight that never got lighter. He loved his family, he cherished his friends, but America felt less and less like home. He was a teacher. He poured his heart into his students. He tried to ignite a spark of curiosity in their young minds. But even in the classroom, he wasn't immune. He saw the subtle ways racism played out, even in the most diverse schools. Driving was the worst. Every time he got behind the wheel, his heart would race. He knew the possibility of being stopped for no reason. The fear was always there, a knot in his stomach. He longed for a place where he could just be, a place where his skin color wouldn't define him. He dreamed of a life without the constant weight of prejudice, a life filled with freedom. One evening everything changed. He was stopped by the police. Driving while black, they called it. The humiliation, the anger, it all came crashing down. He sat on his porch that night, staring at the stars. He couldn't do this anymore, he wouldn't. He called his closest friends, he told them about his plan. He was leaving America. Some were shocked, some understood. His family was the hardest. His mother cried, his father was silent. But he knew he had to do this for himself. He had to choose himself. He quit his job, he sold his belongings, he cashed out his savings. He booked a one-way ticket to Europe. He promised his family he would call every week. He held them close, his heart heavy with the thought of leaving them behind. But he knew he would carry their love with him wherever he went. The day he left, he felt a mix of fear and exhilaration. He was stepping into the unknown. He was leaving behind everything familiar, but he was also stepping into freedom. As the plane took off, he looked out the window at the receding skyline. He was free. He traveled from country to country. He immersed himself in new cultures. He learned new languages. He tasted new foods. He saw the world with fresh eyes. He met people from all walks of life. People who saw him, not just his skin color. He felt a sense of belonging he had never felt before. He felt seen. He felt valued. He felt free. A voice across the miles. There was a woman, a friend back home. They had always been close. They talked about everything and nothing. She was one of the few people who truly understood him. He called her every week, as promised. He told her about his adventures. He shared his hopes and fears. He felt a connection with her that he didn't have with anyone else. She listened patiently. She offered words of encouragement. She missed him. She realized she loved him. She always had, but she had been afraid to admit it, to herself and to him. Beneath the Sicilian sun, he found himself drawn to Italy, the warmth of the people, the beauty of the language, the richness of the culture. He rented a small apartment in Sicily. He spent his days exploring ancient ruins, indulging in delicious food, and soaking up the Mediterranean sun. He felt at peace. One day, he received a call. It was her. She was in Italy. She had booked a flight on a whim. She needed to see him. He was ecstatic. He told her to come to Sicily. A love blossoming. They spent their days exploring the cobblestone streets hand in hand. They shared laughter over plates of pasta. They watched the sunset over the Mediterranean Sea. They talked for hours, baring their souls to each other. She told him she loved him. He told her he loved her too. It had always been her. Finding home, together. He realized he had found a home. Not a place, but a person. Someone who saw him, loved him, accepted him for who he was. They talked about their future. They dreamed of a life together. A life filled with love, adventure, and freedom. He knew he couldn't ask her to stay in Sicily, but he also knew he couldn't go back to America. Not now. Not after tasting true freedom. A new horizon. They decided to make a life together in Europe. They would travel and explore. They would build a new life together. They knew there would be challenges, but they were ready to face them, together. As they stood on the shores of Sicily hand in hand, they felt a sense of hope and excitement for the future. They had found freedom, together. To be continued.